The Lord just drove us up here. When you look back over things, sometimes you think, my, someone had some wise thinking and a good foresight. No, the Lord's Spirit did. The Lord's running the organization. It's a theocratic organization. Sometimes it's surprising where the idea comes from and what you're going to do. Don't worry about what it's going to be like after Armageddon. It'll be just the way we want it because the Lord's going to do it. The Lord didn't see fit to put it in the Bible. We don't need to know now. We got our hands full now just preaching. What the Lord has in mind for the future, who knows?
So whose idea was it? It was the Lord's. You ask why? We don't know. He didn't put it in the Bible. But make no mistake about it, brothers. This is at Jehovah's bidding. This is Jehovah's work, Jehovah's way.
Oh, Mikey, I don't know how we're going to get through this one.
I do. The Lord will provide to the source. Thank you very much for this leaked video.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness, did we catch a lot, and did we do some, I don't know, some driving around a little bit via Google Map. Thank you, Google Map.
Investigative work. Now, poor Mikey, he's so tired. It's the end of his work week, and he worked out in 98-degree sun today.
98-degree all day
So,
today.
poor Mikey, he's a little sunburned, a little tired.
Yeah.
But we appreciate him sitting down and helping us with this video. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our home.
Yes. Well,
our insanity.
To our brand of insanity.
The Watchtower Zoo. My goodness. So we started with that clip, so that kind of gets us in the mood of what this is going to be like.
We don't know what the Lord's going to provide in the future, but, you know, we know it's there. You mean like Armageddon being just around the corner? You know, 45,000 years ago, it was just around the corner then, too.
And the Lord is directing this work, you know. He's
and they
doing
know it.
So doesn't every other religion on this planet
they
say the same thing.
All say the same thing.
Okay, Mikey, you better take another one because we have a clip here that I was like, oh my God. Now, when we finally get around to getting this up on the leaked channel that we have, the good stuff doesn't start until an hour, about an hour and 3 minutes. So we're actually like foregoing the first hour and starting with, you know, a good clip of this. And somewhere in this they mentioned gems. You know, we're going to be getting some gems. Yes, we're going to be getting some gems because what they're saying in this, Mikey and I have discovered, we don't believe it.
No, we're going to call bullshit.
Yeah, there's something fishy here. In fact...
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
We get that handy. So you just might hear this go off a few more times, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's our first clip.
Now, one of the beautiful things, and I'm sure you'll agree, that came out of this unification happened with the equalization of finances. I remember I was out in California, in San Diego, and we were introducing the Warwick Construction Group arrangement and trying to generate enthusiasm for the Warwick project. And one brother told me, a good friend of mine, they had 5 congregations in their Kingdom Hall, and they couldn't afford to build another hall. And there was nothing that could be done. And I remember asking him at the time, I said, okay, when you 5 bodies of elders got together, which one of you stood up and prayed and told Jehovah, don't bring any more people in the truth because you can't afford it? And he looked at me real shocked. And I said, who did that? Who told Jehovah he can't afford to bring people into the truth?
Mistake number one, you didn't pray for the sand. See, do you see the bullshit that they're now?
Bullshit level DEFCON 5.
He's encouraging, well, he's saying, well, did you, brother, stand up and pray to Joe? Well, you just did some bullshit documentary last summer, and some storm at sea provided the sand you needed to build a Kingdom Hall. And now Jehovah's not providing money? Wait a minute. God can produce sand out of a sea storm, but he can't make money grow on trees?
Can't give
Come
you
on,
guys enough donations?
You can't get Jehovah's Witnesses. Start disconnecting and listen to the words that these guys are saying and put them against from previous videos that the Watchtower Babble Crap Society put out there. We all remember, don't we? Oh, Jehovah provided all the sand we need on an island that has no sand. And yet he can't provide money to build Kingdom Halls. But guess what, friends? Oh, it gets a whole lot better, trust me.
They can't give them a place to worship. There's got to be a way. And it was only 2 months later, all bodies of elders got that beautiful letter forgiving all Kingdom Hall loans and mentioning that we would equalize finances so that everyone could have the Kingdom Halls and other theocratic facilities that they needed. What a beautiful arrangement. It was really tremendous. And that has had remarkable effects. In fact, we'd like to show our first slide for this part. This shows to me graphically what some of our friends are dealing with in this country. Now, we may laugh, but this is no laughing matter. This is an existing Kingdom Hall in Butler, Alabama, and there are a surprising number just like it. And what happened here? Well, the friends were meeting in a rented hall that was literally falling down, full of mold. They couldn't stay there. And so they did the very best they could. They asked the Regional Building Committee for help. The Regional Building Committee came in and said, how much can you afford? And they couldn't hardly afford anything. And no help was given.
Wow.
Can you guys imagine Kingdom Hall in a single wide trailer?
Oh my goodness. Okay, now looking at that picture, Mikey, that is not a normal Kingdom Hall sign, and I see nowhere on that trailer the blue JW.org picture.
That becomes extremely suspicious, and we're going to make an attempt to debunk this into the next scene. But I found it interesting that he said, when the audience is chuckling at this, he says, and surprisingly, there's a number like it. Now, you're talking about in the United States of America, right? In the United States of America, Jehovah's Witnesses have been using trailers like this as a Kingdom Hall. Something's amiss. Now, notice what he said. That they went to the Regional Building Committee for help. There was no help given. Oh, didn't Jehovah answer those prayers, back then?
Well, don't they have, or they used to have boxes in the back of the Kingdom Hall that was the Kingdom Hall Building Fund?
Yeah, exactly.
Where did that money go, Watchtower? I gotta ask. Was that the money you used to pay off all these child abuse cases?
Oh, I'll just about bet.
You're lying to your members because they're faithfully giving every penny they have, putting it in that Kingdom Hall Building Fund, thinking they're building Kingdom Halls, and then you show that this is what some of the Kingdom Halls look like that, some of the witnesses are meeting in?
Especially after, their debts were forgiven.
Oh, well, that's coming in the next clip.
I know.
Oh, Kimmy's getting riled myself.
Come on now, that ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
And so as a result, the local friends went out. They bought this used trailer. And believe me, this is a good picture. If you really saw it, it doesn't look this good. That's a good photographer. And they gutted it. And they put in seats, and they put in they have a lectern, and they put in a little makeshift sound system. And if the sisters want to use the restroom during the program, they have to actually ask the speaker to get out of the way, because the entrance to the sisters' restroom is behind the speaker stand. Not only that, the Friends couldn't afford a surveyor, so when they located this property, the trailer actually sits 10 feet onto the neighbor's property. But this is where they're meeting today. But because of the equalization of finances, we're now working on a project to give them a brand new Kingdom Hall. And they're going to have a dignified, useful place to worship Jehovah, invite others to worship Jehovah with them. And actually, there's a number of situations throughout the United States where we're assisting with that. What a beautiful, beautiful thing.
So, Mikey, aren't you glad they're getting a brand new, dignified Kingdom Hall?
Really? Really? There's some things in this guy's statement that are seriously flawed. First of all, we live in nowhere, New Mexico. I mean, we live in a rural part of New Mexico.
Where they're poor. I mean, really poor.
And even where we live, it is the law. Before any property changes hands, before someone else's name goes on a deed, it's law that the property get surveyed to avoid your property line being in dispute with someone else's property. I am literally calling bullshit on that one.
Okay, now this LDC meeting, Mikey, was from 2017, everybody. Okay, 2017, so it's not that long ago. Good morning, everybody.
Morning. Just a quick correction here, eh?
Yeah, we had to do a correction because this is so confusing. And when they say jw.org isn't accurate, oh my God, that's an understatement. It has had us so confused. But I don't even know where I got Butler, Georgia. And so we just had to do a quick correction here. Now, what I did is I went to MapQuest and I typed in Butler, Alabama, Kingdom Hall.
Yes.
No Kingdom Hall comes up.
Nothing.
So it's like, okay. So, knowing how Jehovah's Witnesses are, well, you're just lying apostates about this. So, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to go directly to their website. Now, when you click on About Us, you can click on Meetings, and you can find a Kingdom Hall and meetings in where you're going to be. And so, I typed in Butler, Alabama. And imagine my surprise when a green arrow comes up in the middle of nowhere, Butler County in Alabama. And like the nearest Kingdom Hall was Greenville.
Yeah, which is still not too far away from what you would presume to be where this Kingdom Hall is at. It's still within a 20-mile stretch.
And it's confusing because the green arrow comes up, but there's still no Kingdom Hall around the green arrow.
Yeah, because when you go to the road map in Butler County, you can find no Butler town, no Butler city, no Butler nowhere. So it's like, well, wait a minute. Where is Butler, Alabama?
So it gets more confusing because it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to the regular internet and type in Butler, Alabama. And when I did, I found a small town of only about a little over 1,800 population over by the Mississippi border.
In Choctaw
Hundreds
County.
of miles away from where jw.org says it is. So I finally found it over there on the west side by Mississippi, like Mike said, in Choctaw County. But same thing, no Kingdom Hall.
No Kingdom Halls. So, well, and here comes another part of the problem is that when you listen to this guy speak, he's telling, the people in the audience, we're going to get you a proper Kingdom Hall. So, really? The town only has a population of approximately 1,800 people. You're going to give a proper Kingdom Hall in Butler, Alabama, when there's only a township of probably 1,800 people? No, you're probably better off keeping this little piddly-ass trailer and resolve the issue of the property line.
Well, that's where the problem is because was this congregation closed down, or is jw.org, their people working on the computer so inept that they don't even know they have a congregation there.
Yeah.
And it's not showing up on their map, or are they lying about this? It's one of the three.
Well, here comes the other thing too, is that, let's qualify a proper Kingdom Hall in these modern day times. So you're talking about a micro Kingdom Hall when you're only going to put 70 seats in it. Are you going to put up one of these, mobile buildings that we've seen in other videos, Jehovah's Witnesses standing in front of the new Kingdom Halls? Because in the mind of a Jehovah Witness, when they hear the term proper Kingdom Hall, they're thinking of a building that has 200 seats in it.
Dignified.
Yeah. Dignified, proper. It's still all the same bullshit coming out of their mouth.
So here we are, 2018, and like I said, at this point there is no dignified new Kingdom Hall on their list for this little congregation.
Yeah.
So, was this a lie? Was this propaganda? We don't know. It'd have to be up to someone in that area to let us know,
what's really going on. But it's clear and it's apparent that he qualifies his statement that there's Kingdom Halls out there that Watchtower doesn't even know are there. And when you go to this map to watchtowersjw.org to find out where there's the closest Kingdom Hall to Butler, that Kingdom Hall doesn't even come up.
Yeah, because I'm going to put the map up here, and as you can see, there is no Kingdom Halls around Butler area. I mean, for miles and miles.
Unless you go to the Kingdom Hall in Butler County, and then you've got one supposedly Kingdom Hall there.
But that's hundreds of miles away.
But there is no town Butler in Butler County.
Yeah. The Kingdom Hall over there is Greenville. So, I mean, this goes to show how inept JW.org is, and you cannot rely on the numbers.
Nope. Because they're blowing smoke up your skirt, and this is no different than what they did to us a couple decades ago in Arizona when we remodeled our Kingdom Hall. Oh, brothers and sisters, we need to donate our seats to our brothers in Mexico because they're sitting on 5-gallon paint buckets to listen to their public talks. And then when the brothers come back from Mexico delivering those chairs, we found out it was pretty much all bullshit.
Yeah, they said they actually have really nice Kingdom Halls with nice seats.
See, what it is, I'll tell you exactly what's happening right here with this picture. Everybody that's in that meeting laughing about that, Kingdom Hall.
POS Kingdom Hall.
Yeah, well, everybody's making a little laugh and jesting at this Kingdom Hall, especially when the sisters have to disrupt the meeting to go take a piss. Okay? Here's the problem. Every person in that Kingdom Hall or that meeting place is going to take that thought back to their Kingdom Hall and say, now, brothers and sisters, we need to donate more because our poor brothers, even in this United States of America, are meeting in trailer homes. Brothers and sisters, open up your pocketbook and give until it hurts. Brothers, give until there's no more giving to get. This is what this is. This is nothing but a piece of bullshit propaganda technique to get more money out of these people because they think they are impressing upon this audience that there's more than one Kingdom Hall across the United States in a mobile home, for crying out loud.
Okay, so
I need a drink.
Yeah, have a drink and calm down. So just last year, you're telling them, and they still meet in this today. So even in 2017, he was saying, and they're still meeting in this little POS trailer today.
And here's the clincher. Where's the famous blue JW.org logo? It's non-existent, guys. It's non-existent in that photograph. Come on. Quit blowing smoke in everybody's face and telling everybody that this Butler area is going to get a new Kingdom Hall. Religion, a snare, and a racket.
Oy vey. I think you better go get a refill on your rum. You're going to need it for this next clip.
I better go to drinking water.
Now, when the LDC was first established here in the United States, a lot of effort went into getting our arms around what we had. And this involved a lot of research, a lot of surveys, and a lot of footwork in the field. You know, when LDC was first formed, no one knew how many Kingdom Halls existed in the United States. It was not recorded anywhere. The best thing we had was on jw.org was a list of addresses, but it wasn't complete and it wasn't accurate. And so that actually, we had to find out how many we had. It comes out to around 6,100.
Oh my goodness, Mikey.
Did you Jehovah's Witnesses catch what he said?
Oh my goodness.
Did you catch it, Jehovah's Witnesses?
Well, I want to thank the source because he gave us timestamps, which saved us a tremendous amount of time from having to watch this entire, video. All right, now in the clip, he states that they didn't know how many Kingdom Halls they had in the United States. I'm like, oh my God. What kind of records are you keeping? No wonder you have to overhaul your records management department. Holy crap.
Hey, Jehovah's Witnesses, do you see how out of control your governing body is? Honestly, I mean, for an organization that drives, you got to turn in your time every month because, Jehovah needs your time at the end of the month. Jehovah needs to know how many publishers we have. And you can't even keep track of how many Kingdom Halls you have here in the United States? My goodness.
Okay, now he states that they had to get the information from jw.org and it was wrong and not accurate. I'm like, holy... Well, I'm not going to repeat what I said. Okay, if you didn't know how many Kingdom Halls you had in the United States, then how could you possibly accurately know how many children are being molested, how many Jehovah's Witness members you have here in the United States, how many Bible studies you have, how many pioneers, how many hours were reported, and how many partook of the emblems. How can you possibly know if you can't keep track of buildings? How can you keep track of people?
You know what I call this?
Bullshit alert.
See, guys? You see, Jehovah's Witnesses? Even this knucklehead right here is admitting that when we started this, Watchtower didn't know how many Kingdom Halls we have in the United States. So now you've got to ask yourself one serious question. They don't know how many Kingdom Halls you don't have in the United States. How many Kingdom Halls are you not aware of, not knowing worldwide?
Yeah.
Worldwide. Screw the United States. Because if that information is not available and up to date, then what about the rest of the world?
Yeah.
When Jehovah's Witnesses say, excuse me, when you tell the news media that you have 8 million members worldwide, you activists take this clip and shove it in front of the faces of the news media and let them know that JW.org is lying because they don't even know how many damn Kingdom Halls they got in the United States.
Now, Mike and I have, I know I got to calm down. Mike and I have been saying for the past 5 years now that we honestly don't believe they have 8 million members.
Nope, don't believe it one bit.
They always use the peak publishers. And we know that that can't possibly be the right number. So after this next clip, we're going to do some math and see if you guys can, see what we're seeing is like, okay, there's something fishy in Watchtower land.
Now, when the LDC was first formed, they were told that we needed in this country to build 300 new Kingdom Halls just to keep ahead of the backlog and to solve the overcrowding issues that were taking place in our territory. And we'd need to do that for at least 5 years just to catch up. And it was felt we were behind 1,500 new Kingdom Halls. What a huge, huge task to build that many. And so we wondered, how could we ever get that much work done? But the fact is, we have not been building 300 new Kingdom Halls a year. In fact, we've been building far fewer. Well, what happened? Well, this is what happened. If you look at Luke chapter 14, verses 28 and 29, here Jesus gives sound counsel. Oh yes, for example, who of you wanting to build a tower does not first sit down and calculate the expense to see if he has enough to complete it? Otherwise he might lay its foundation but not be able to finish it. and all the onlookers would start to ridicule him. So this is what LDC did, and it took quite some time, working with the service department, working with circuit overseers and local congregations. They sat down and figured out what was really needed. And interestingly enough, this was highlighted for us in November in a local needs at our Christian Life and Ministry meeting. And it showed how this calculation was done to see what was really needed in the U.S. branch territory. Why don't we show that first clip from the Christian Life and Ministry meeting in November?
As more information was collected regarding auditorium capacity, it became apparent that many were underutilized.
So, an effort to make better use of these existing facilities, the branch committee is now working with circuit overseers and local elders to relocate and merge a number of congregations. Such efforts will significantly reduce the number of kingdom halls needed and help us to pinpoint where the greatest needs are.
Service Department, along with the LDC, has been conducting throughout the country in areas where there's a dense population of witnesses what's called IP studies, or implementation plan studies. 35 of them are currently ongoing as we speak. The biggest and the newest one that's come on board is New York City. With the leaving of the Bethel family from New York City, we're looking at all those congregations. And what have those IP studies been focused on? Well, of course, they're focused on the utilization of kingdom halls. As that video showed, the actual number of seats filled at any given meeting is very low. In fact, if you take the average for the peak the peak meeting each week across the United States, you know how many seats we're using? We're using 48% of our seating capacity. That's less than half the seats are full. And when you have 5 congregations meeting in a kingdom hall and you're only using half the seats for each meeting, you got to wonder, did we really think this out?
Now, they're talking, in the previous clips, they talked about forgiving these loans. And now they're talking about, they're admitting they didn't count the cost and that they need 1,500 kingdom halls.
No, there's a backlog.
There's a backlog.
They're behind 1,500 kingdom halls.
And they're not even building 300 kingdom halls every year. And that's just here in the United States. Now, I want to take everybody back, years ago, because there may be new ones that do not know this. Back when Watchtower had these mortgage loans that they would loan to kingdom halls, not many people know that they were charging interest, up to 6% interest.
They were acting as a bank and got caught.
Yes, and boy did they ever get caught. And I'm going to put the link down below to what KM this was talked about in, because you talk to a Jehovah's Witness today and they say, oh no, they didn't charge interest like a bank. They just gave the loan out of the goodness of their heart. No, they were making up to 6% interest from congregations. So they had the mortgage payment and then up to 6% interest. You see the money that Watchtower was raking in?
Well, not only that, look at Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you not hear what these guys are admitting to? They squandered all your donations. They squandered them. But see, as long as they were acting as a bank and as long as they were getting interest off of your money, they thought this tit was never going to dry up. Well, guess what? When they got caught, the tit dried up. And these are the results. These guys are admitting that they've been piss poorly managing your money. Now, the biggest question comes to this. The biggest question, how in the hell can you have a backlog of 1,500 kingdom halls when you can't even fill half of the kingdom halls you got now? The math just doesn't work.
Well, think about it. Okay, if you're saying you have a backlog of 1,500 Kingdom Halls, this does not make sense. Because if you don't know even how many accurate number of Kingdom Halls you have in the United States, and then you say a backlog of 1,500, how do you know?
How do you know? Exactly.
Okay, Mikey. Now, I haven't been drinking because I wanted a clear mind for this because we're going to do some math. Okay.
Well, are you saying my mind's not clear now because I had a little bit of rum?
No, I'm just saying that if I had a little bit of rum, I wouldn't even be able to
but
talk.
See, this is what people don't see. Behind the scenes, I drink water whenever I drink alcohol because I know that alcohol dehydrates you. And if you don't drink water when you're drinking alcohol, you're going to wake up with a freaking hangover in the morning.
Yeah.
But see, this is what people don't see.
I'm actually drinking ice water because, it's just too much. No, I'm just saying that if I had even a little bit of rum,
but
that I wouldn't be able to do the math.
But, somebody out there is going to say, oh, Mike's on a rant because he's freaking drunk. No, I'm not.
No, you haven't seen him drunk.
I don't think I've only ever seen myself drunk once. And that was at a rendezvous.
Yeah, I heard about that. And I think that was only once.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to what we were
Fogging
doing.
up my glasses with the ice water. Okay. Now, what I did is I went to the 2017 yearbook, which is the newest yearbook for the grand totals. Now, here in the United States, they say they have 1,198,026 average publishers.
This is going to be good.
Here in the United States. Okay. 6,100 Kingdom Halls. Thereabouts, because they're not exactly sure, because jw.org is not accurate.
And that's a self-admission, guys.
Yeah. So you take the 6,100 Kingdom Halls. Okay, we're going to take that 1.1 million publishers, that number, and divide it by 6,100 Kingdom Halls. That comes out to 196.4 publishers.
Can somebody please tell me what Kingdom Hall in this country has 196 publishers sitting in their seats on a Sunday morning?
Okay, now he admits, and then the two jabronis that did the clip for the Christian Life Ministry meeting.
Well, and this guy said 48%. There's only 48% filled.
All right, he says they're more than half empty, only 48% full. All right, Mikey, now let's do the math. What Kingdom Hall has a capacity of at least, I'm saying, let's just average it out in our head, of 400 seats? Because if they're more than half empty, 48%, and then their numbers of 1.1 million average publishers, the math isn't adding up, guys. You don't have 1.1 million publishers going to the meetings.
Here in the United States.
If you're only 48% full,
what you really should do is you should take that 1.198 million and divide that by 48%, and that'll tell you how many average Jehovah's Witnesses are going to the Kingdom Hall. You're going to be surprised.
Yeah, I should have done that, and I don't have a calculator.
Well, let's just round it up.
But you know what? Our viewers are so good. I know they'll do the math.
Well, let's just round it up to, let's just say Kingdom Halls are only 50% filled. Take the 1.198, divide that in half.
500,000 are missing.
500,000, 500, or whatever it is. But there's only, when you do the math, there's only over 500,000 Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States.
Going to the meetings.
Watchtower, you guys are failing miserably. This is why you're clamoring for money the way you are. This is why you're using a Kingdom Hall, a mobile home trailer, throw out some stupid little some stupid little Kingdom Hall sign, and forget to put the jw.org sign, and we're going to sell this piece of propaganda and let everybody know that we need money.
That was bullshit.
You know what,
You guys ain't blowing smoke up my skirt at all, because I see what you're doing.
I'm going to do a happy dance. Because like Mike says, even if you just average it out to 50% empty, the average publishers, since it was 1,198. Let's just round it up. We'll give them a little few extra.
Make it 1.2.
1.2 million. So that's 600,000?
Yeah, you do the math. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States, you don't even have anywhere near close to 1 million members.
So that means that half aren't going to the meetings. Do you guys see the numbers? I mean, my God, and this is why we say we do not believe the 8 million membership, because even here in the United States, if they can only get 500,000 to 600,000 publishers to go to the meetings, do you guys understand what that means?
Jehovah's not blessing you. There is no Jehovah to bless you. All you're doing is wasting your time and your energy in a bullshit publishing company. That's all this is, and that's all it's ever been.
Yeah. Now, one last thing. The source mentions that Jehovah needs this work done at 1 hour and 40 minutes. And we're not going to bother with the clip.
No, Jehovah don't need the work done. Jehovah don't need a building. Go back and read the account where King David is talking about this palace that he's built for himself. And David feels humble. David feels sad because, I have this beautiful palace, but there's no house for Jehovah. And then what does Jehovah say? Well, have I been prancing around your camp, around your city, asking for a house? Jehovah never asked for anybody to build him a temple. Go read your scripture and see that this is all bullshit what these guys are telling you. My goodness.
So, we're sorry we're a little overly passionate about subjects like this, but for us, this was exciting, wonderful news because Watchtower is trying to sell the BS, but they're failing miserably because they turn around and within 10 minutes of that clip say, that they need money and more Kingdom Halls and all this, and then they admit that they're 48% empty.
They're admitting their failure.
And I don't believe that they need any Kingdom Halls at all.
Not at all.
And I think that's why they're dissolving congregations and selling off Kingdom Halls. And like I said, I'm going to put the links down below to all of this so you can go investigate and see that it's not Mike and I sitting here lying. We're not lying apostates. We're trying to help you Jehovah's Witnesses realize you're being lied to. Those of you in the LDC, you temporary workers, your volunteers, which would include my brother, you're being lied to. And then at the end of this, the source says at about 2 hours and 2 minutes, they're asking for young recruits.
Which, translates into free labor.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses, you're not going to get paid for this, so if you get hurt, there's no workman's comp.
Especially when you hear from ones who are in LDC that the average age of workers is 40 to 50 years old. So no wonder they're wanting young workers.
Yeah.
Young recruits. They need fresh blood, slave labor.
They're not going to get it because the young ones are on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
They see what's going on. They're not stupid, Watchtower. So quit making people think that you're smarter than they are because people can see the bullshit that you're even presenting right here. My God, it's so blatant.
Well, I quit school in the 8th grade and just have a GED, and I was able to do the math and say, wait a tick, something smells fishy in Watchtower land.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. And
hope you enjoyed the rant. It's been a while since we did a rant, huh?
Yeah, and us out of M&Ms. And I mean, I don't think M&Ms would have even calmed Mikey down for this one.
Well, it's just so aggravating when these guys lie blatantly like this, and the audience can't even pick up that they're being lied to, bold-faced lied to. This is the ignorance that Jehovah's Witnesses perpetrate.
And it's so easy to prove. All you have to do is go to jw.org and punch in a few keystrokes and it just pops up.
Yep, exactly.
It just pops up. You like that, huh?
I like that.
A reference back to...
Exactly.
Yeah. So, hope you all enjoyed this, and please share this everywhere. Share the information.
But warn everybody about the rant.
Yeah, warn
I don't like that. I don't care.
Well, a lot of people don't like Mikey and Kim because we rant.
Yeah, so what?
But we tell it the way it is, right?
That's right. If you don't like it, go find another channel.
Yeah. Move
Simple
along.
as that. Go
Nothing
on.
to
Bye-bye.
see here. Move along.
Bye.
We love you guys and hope you have a wonderful weekend.
God bless.
Bye.